Okay. Hello, real estate rock stars. Coach Hannah here. I have a guest once again on the board, our coach, Mike Cribbin. Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for making a time for us. I just will not take too much of your time. However, I would like to get your take on current market situation. I had this very interesting conversation with a friend of mine who also is a realtor here in Washington, D.C. area. And she was telling me that she actually has lost a couple buyers after they already had put a deposit down on a table, and it was all a result of the current cost of money, but also political situation. So this is very, very first time I hear around a circle of my clients that actually the political situation, we know that the rates will always influence the buyers and the sellers, but now we are even tapping in a current world situation. What is your take on that?
Well, here where I am, there's not much going on about the current world situation. It's not affecting uh, people's decisions or whatever. But one thing that it is affecting is the interest rates.
Oh, okay.
And around here, the interest rates are going through the roof. I mean,
Where are you right now? We are in Washington, D.C. area. I understand it's around 8% right now.
we're in St. Louis, and a lot of it is 8.75,
Oh,
depending on your credit. Some people are in the tens.
wow.
It's crazy. And what that has done, the market is again shrinking with inventory. There's
Yep.
not that much. And what you would think is that the houses would be getting multiple offers.
Yep.
Not happening,
It's
at
not
least not
happening.
in
That's
this
true.
area.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Here the market has somehow slowed down, yet there is a movement, and I think it's because it's before Thanksgiving, right? People want to unload now before we will hit the holiday season, or maybe wait until January, but still it's very interesting. It's something what we don't influence. However, we need to adjust to it. So how do we adjust? And I know that you will be starting your boot camp in November. I think it's next week. Hold on, let me ask. Hey, Rosie,
Yes,
what?
it's next week,
Next week when?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yes, guys, if you would like to learn more about systems for success, Mike is your coach. But how would you, if you can pull something from your course to address the current situation on the market, what rings the bell? What are two or three things you would like to highlight and recommend to whoever is listening right now?
sure. What you have to do is you have to look at the current market situation. You have to look at your buyer or your seller and figure out what their needs are. If perhaps they're buying, you have to see why they're buying, where they want to buy, how they want to buy, all the basics. But then you have to also look at what is keeping them up at night.
Mm,
What is bothering them? Is it the fact that there aren't many homes in the market? Is it the interest rate? Is it the fact that they are moving to a new location and they have to be somewhere? What is bothering them? You have to look at their pain and their frustration, and you have to be the one that is going to give them the solution, give them some hope. And in this market, it's not always easy because the debt ratio people have and the interest rate now that they have to pay, sometimes they can't afford to buy the house they already live in. So they can't afford to sell, but yet they have to sell. So you have to be the person that is going to step in and be the knight in shining armor. You have to be the one that is going to help them and give them what they need. It's very difficult. I'm working with a lender right now that is a private lender, and what he's trying to do is take the mortgage they currently have on a house and transfer that to the new house.
Mhm.
Now, I know it's sticky, it's ugly, but he's a private mortgage. He's not even a broker. He's just he provides money. He's a lender. He's not a hard money lender, but he is a lender, and he's trying that. So you have to look to the buyer or seller and find out how you can help them. And if you can, as a realtor, learn to stop talking and listen,
Mm.
you're going to go a lot further. That's about all I have for that question.
I love it. I was just making some notes, and it comes down to figure out what's your client real needs and worries, and then staying current with the information. How is the market where you are currently working? And then basically figuring out creative way how to make the transaction happen, even
Yes,
when
I
it
mean,
comes to lending money or closing a deal, figuring the timeline. And that goes back to whoever is not strong in this field, there is a way to learn and there is a way to adapt to a new situation on the market,
and
right?
there's another thing that you can do. Um, I've been doing this recently and having a lot of fun with it. Um, I've had some buyers that couldn't find a house.
Hmm.
So again, you play with the expireds. You find out who has expired that possibly has a house that these people could be interested in. And the last one I did just a few weeks ago, I was busy, I was aggravated, and I knew I had a house, but I couldn't get a hold of the owner. Every time I went, knocked on the door, they weren't there. So I told the buyer, I said, you know what? Go anytime, day or night, go knock on his door, tell him you're interested in possibly buying his home. And I went back to work doing what I was doing. Guess what? The seller said, yeah, I'm interested in selling. Come on in.
Oh,
And they went in and they saw the house and they sat down and they had dinner with them. I mean, it was crazy. And they called me that night and said, yes, Ron will still sell for the same price. And I'm
wow.
sitting here going, that was the price from 2 years ago. Oh my goodness. And my client said, let's write a contract right now. And Ron said, well, yeah, let's just write it. You go ahead and write it for both of us. And I told him that I'm representing Brad, not him. He said, that's fine. I don't care. If you give me that price, I'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have gone to the expireds. And if you go to the expireds, you've got a willing and able seller, and you got a buyer, and you've got a house that's not on the market. But
Mhm.
the people were so surprised that he came, or that I knock on the door. When I knock on the door, I just tell them, hey, this is Mike Cribbin, broker owner of Cribbin Realty, and I'm not, you know, trying to list your house, but if I had a buyer, would you be interested in selling? And they said, yes.
Yeah.
So
Tell
that's
me
the way
how
I'm
long,
getting.
how long was the expired?
2 years.
Oh, that is phenomenal. Do you see, this is something what we were talking about. I was even chatting about it with Coach Jim and Jess, and they said sometimes going a little bit further back in time actually might bring you results.
Yeah,
I like.
I've gone back as far as 5 years
Oh,
and I didn't get much success, but I got a little.
Well, you got something. You got results. So you got more than someone else. Yeah.
And a lot of it is not about filling your database with useless names and numbers. A lot of it is filling your database with people who could be or will be ready. I mean, when you start talking to them, you can tell if they're going to be a client, and you can tell if they're not going to be.
That is
And
true.
you can tell if you don't want them to be. I mean,
I think, okay, tell me how many seconds it takes you to feel if you're clicking with the person and if you actually want to represent them or deal
oh
with them.
man,
It's quick,
I'll
right?
tell you, after the greeting, the introduction, you can tell. You
Yeah.
can tell. Now, one of the houses I went to, I got there by accident. I was with a friend and he said, "Hey, so and so was thinking about selling." So I
Mhm.
walked over to his house from Tom's house. I walked over to this guy's house, knocked on the door, and he said, "Hey, you were walking on my grass."
Oh,
I
red
said,
flag.
"Oh, sorry about that." I said, "I was just coming from uh, Tom's house, 4 door." He said, "Yeah, I know Tom." I said, "I was come by." Tom said, "You might be interested in selling." And the guy started cussing and swearing and stomping his feet. And I'm thinking, oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
he was just joking. And it was like,
What?
okay, this is my kind of guy then. And he said, "Come
Confused.
on in." Yeah, he said, "Come
He
on
was
in. We
testing
were
you.
thinking
He
about."
was just testing you if you can go past the first quest, and you
Oh
did
yeah,
apparently.
yeah. He had me walk through his house and said, "Yeah, we're thinking about selling in about 2 years when my daughter finishes high school. What was your name again?" And then I was getting ready to leave, and he goes, "What was your name again?" And I said, "You know what? You know Tom. My name will be Tom, so you can remember it. And just call Tom when you want to talk to me." Now it's been 6 months, 7 months, so he's not ready yet. His daughter's still in high school,
Yeah.
but don't think he's in my database, and
Yeah.
don't think I'm not going to touch base with him.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you know,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
this
And see,
market,
how many conversations are you trying to get per day? If you're still cautious about it, because I think over the time of you being realtor for so long, you're just doing it automatically. But would there be a sweet spot that you want to talk at least to 10 people, 10 strangers, and just have conversation?
if you're a new agent, yes, not me. I would like to have 3 meaningful conversations a day.
And
Now,
that's your sphere of influence, or with whom?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If I could get 3 meaningful conversations a day about anything with anybody, I'll be happy. And what I mean by that is I will go to some past clients. I'll go knock on their door at work and say, I'll walk through the door and say, "Hey, Jim, guess what? It's me." And sometimes they say, "I haven't got time, Mike." And other times I'll sit down and they'll say, "What's happening?" I'll say something along the lines of, "Hey, look, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm going to see a client or a prospect. I have 10 minutes. I just thought I'd stop in and see how you're doing."
Mm,
Not talking about anything, just
yeah.
getting my face in front of them. And if they will talk to me for 10 minutes about anything,
Yeah.
their kids, their house, their life, their business,
Yeah.
whatever. And when I ask how are things going, and they're going to tell me a lie, they're going to tell me it's going great, and they're going to ask me, how's it going with you? Well, I'm going to give them a lie and say it's great. I am busier than can be,
Yeah.
whether I am or not. Doesn't matter. That's going to come out.
Yeah.
So with that, you've had a conversation. So I look at my calendar and I mark 3 days from now, I'm going to send him a quick thank you note.
Mm-hmm.
And the thank you note is, hey, Jim, thanks for the conversation yesterday. Really enjoyed it. Remember, I was on my way to see a client. I'm going to put in parentheses, prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't work out. So if you know anybody who could fill that void, I would appreciate it. Glad your business is going great. Talk to you later, Mike.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. And now you've got the whole script on video. But that's pretty much what I do. I consider that a meaningful conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get on the phone and you're talking to somebody and you know they are not engaged, even though they're talking. That's not a meaningful conversation. And
Yeah.
I only go for 3.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's all I really want. I mean, if you do 3 a day, that's 90 a month. Out of 90 meaningful conversations, if you don't end up with 3, 4 good referrals and 1 listing or buyer, then you ought to go work at Walmart. I mean,
I think it so, and this is a note for new agents, obviously. The way to do a meaningful conversation, even if at the beginning we are kind of lying to each other that life is great, everything is great. The good idea is to do the icebreaker and say something funny, make a funny comment, make a joke, and that's how you will open up the gate to more meaningful conversation when they will actually start sharing with you something what might be not so cool and peachy in their life, and then you connect way more on a deeper level. And I absolutely love the fact that when you meet these people, friends, or past clients, you're not talking business, you're really only connecting as a Mike, and they already know you're a realtor. You don't have to repeat that. Hey, I'm a realtor. So never go needy, but rather practice the meaningful conversation and some icebreakers and something funny or even interesting, right? You can always scroll the news or something on your phone and find something meaningful within the area where you live. Yeah.
yeah, you got to be very careful too with the icebreaker. I got in trouble one time. This
Tell us,
guy
tell us.
had a gosh, awful, ugly shirt and a tie. And I said, oh, Father's Day present. He said, no. He said, my wife gave me the tie. I said, oh, well, the tie looks nice. Kind of clashes with the shirt, wouldn't you say? I was kind of chuckling. And he goes, no, not really. He said, it looks good. It's got red and red or blue and blue. I forgot what it was. And I'm like, yeah. Another time I mentioned something. Oh, yeah. Another time I mentioned
I'm
something.
so okay, hold on. I'm so happy you did it with a guy and not with the lady. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely do not comment. Please, nobody comments on the outfits. You just never know. What was
You
the
never
outfit?
know. Yeah. And you better read their personality pretty quickly
Yeah.
as to whether they can handle it or whether they they're that type. So the real serious stoic ones, you mentioned something basic. Otherwise, you know, you can get on them. And I'm the type, I I can get on people's nerves pretty quickly. So,
Well, but that definitely makes you stand out.
oh
And
yeah,
that also can send a message with potential clients that nobody will push you around and that you will get the best possible results for your clients. So at the end, in a real estate, we want alpha agents. right? So wear it proudly.
Yeah. You
You
know
look
what?
good in red, by the way. You look good in red.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know what? It's all about your client or your prospect.
Yes.
And you have to realize that it's not about you. You might be a Hall of Fame, perfect, great realtor, but nobody cares. All they care about is the problem that they want to solve. They care about themselves. So if you can quickly get yourself focused on them, they
Mhm.
want to talk. Let them talk. Lead them, give them a question or two that will get to their pain and frustration. What do you think of the housing market? I mean, this is crazy, isn't it?
That's how we started the conversation. Exactly. And I love it because you're looping back again to figuring out the client's needs and their worries. And the best way to do so is to have open-ended questions, right?
Yes, yes. But you don't want to have a list of them to
Mhm.
where the client prospect feels like you are just mumbo jumboing a list.
Interrogating them. Yes. Do not
Yeah,
interrogate. Just have a one big question and then let them express their opinion and listen and pick on it and then lead the conversation.
yeah.
Yes.
If you give them up to two, maybe three questions related to the first one. When you hear their response, feed another one where you know they're going to talk. And
Mhm.
then you could even add another one where it just keeps them going. Once they get on a rant, you can keep the rant going. That breaks the ice and they want to talk
Yeah.
and they will talk. And it, it's fun. It's fun to be able to talk. I mean, do you like to talk, Hannah?
Well, look at us. Anytime we can squeeze in 15, 20 minutes, we get on a call and talk about our favorite topic. It's real estate. We live real estate. We think real estate. We dream of real estate. We talk real estate. I can't help it. Appreciate you
Exactly.
too.
Exactly. I mean, I've got, well, you can't see it because of the virtual background, but you can see that I put a card up there.
You have to put it
Okay.
in, you have to put it in front of you. What was it? Do it again, please. It's it's a letter. Someone had sent you a letter.
They sent a letter. I sent a thank you note for going and seeing them, and they sent one back with uh, a $5 Starbucks card. Okay, $5 won't buy you the cup at Starbucks,
Oh, it
but
will.
that's
The
okay.
coffee,
It's
but
the
that's
thought.
beautiful. That's beautiful. So that was your past client who actually appreciates you so much that they have sent you a invitation for a coffee. That's lovely. That's beautiful.
Well,
That's
that's one way to
right
look
there.
at it.
That's your ambassador of Mike Cribbins Real Estate.
Yeah, you see, that's one way to look at it. There's another way to look at it that says he wants me to go bankrupt, so he sends me $5, so I have to pay the extra $1.80 to get what I want.
Oh, come on, come on. I rather look at the bright side and silver lining. And
Right.
they paid for the stamp, they took the time to write you a note and come
No,
on,
he
like
ran it through the meter. He ran it through the meter.
how how often do you actually get gifts from your clients? How often?
Oh, I get a lot at Christmas and on my birthday. I
Oh,
probably got um probably last year I must have gotten close to 3 cases of bourbon. Now,
okay. I'm doing something wrong. Talk to me.
and on my birthday this
Uh-huh.
year, which was just a few days ago, I got about 10, maybe 11, 12 cards in the mail,
Wow.
and a couple of them
I
had gift.
only get bills in the mail.
You know, I know. That's why you got to have a lot of clients, because a
Yeah.
couple of them gave me gift cards. So
Uh-huh.
you can see the economy is changing, unless this Christmas they want to, butter me up again. But anyway, yeah, you can make some lifelong friends. I've got some clients that I've sold 5 or 6 houses. I don't want to name anybody, but
Yeah.
um, I have sold, gosh, his first name is Alan. I
Yeah.
have probably
Basically,
sold
your
him
clients
20
over the
houses,
time. Yeah. How many?
at least 20.
Oh,
He buys them for himself, for his kids, and then he buys investment properties, then he sells it. There was one time he went like three houses in a year. He was moving. I'm like, man, wait, you're killing yourself on capital gains. But it was when the market was escalating.
yeah.
He just kept buying and selling and moving.
Couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. We like and love those clients.
Oh, I love them, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at real estate, it's really a simple business. It's
Mhm.
real simple. It's a people business.
Right.
Somebody's got a problem, you're going to help them solve it. Now, yes, you're a realtor, you're a car salesman. They look at you, as somebody they don't want to pay the money to. But if you can become somebody they don't mind talking to, if you can be just a person,
Mhm.
they will talk.
Yeah.
And all you've got to do is tell them what you do real quickly, and get into a conversation about them. Let
Yeah.
them talk. You've done enough. You've covered who you are. You have the purpose of a call, and you move on and you just talk. If you leave the open-ended question, they talk.
Mhm.
And it's just, it's fun and it's easy. But if you make it, you can make it a hard, boring job. That's why, 87% of the people fail in the first 3 to 5 years.
2 years, first two
They're,
years, actually, yeah.
yeah, they're out
Because
of the
it's expensive
business.
to run a business, or it's expensive to get into real estate thinking, oh, I love houses. No, it is, as you said, it's a people's business. And you have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
master communication and systems and skills and keep on learning continuously.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Your business is really lead generation. That's your business. You've got to get leads in your funnel. Well, how do you do it? By talking and getting people in your funnel, into your CRM, and staying in contact. And if you were to add quality people, if you were to add 2 quality people into your funnel every day,
Mm-hmm.
think where you would be in 3 years.
Oh, it's massive.
The average person stays in their house. It used to be 5 years, then it went to 7. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a little longer now.
Okay.
I haven't looked recently, but if you look at, even if you say 9 years, if they turn over, then you have repeat clients, because they know who you are.
Yeah.
They either know, like, or trust you. Now, you're not going to get all of them to turn over, and you're
Mhm.
not going to get all of them to use you.
Yeah.
But the statistics show that most people do not use the same realtor again,
Wow.
because they
And
don't stay in contact.
okay, they're not working their sphere of influence. It's just silly, but it's a low-hanging fruit. You already know the people, like the people. Why wouldn't you do so? Well, I love
Well, you
this.
know what, Hannah, before we
Yeah.
leave,
Yeah.
a lot of realtors, and they hire a service
Mm-hmm.
to keep giving them emails to send out. You know, it's spring, it's time to fertilize your yard. Here's how to do the flowers. You know, everybody sends that shit.
It's
No,
empty. It doesn't have a human charge in it. There's no connection. True. Yeah.
you know what? Send a little blurb from you.
Yeah.
And it is so easy. I mean, AI will do it for you, and it'll sound more like you if you know how to use AI. But if not, just send a little blurb. Hey, thinking about you. Hey, thinking about you, Hannah. What's going on? It's springtime. Have you bought your bikini yet? No, I mean,
No, I
no,
haven't.
no. But you know what I mean? Send
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah.
And periodically, if you've got a client I've got a client that I can never get off the phone. All he wants to do is talk and tell me these jokes. And this guy could be a stand-up comedian. So every so often, I look at my calendar and I block out 30 minutes for a quick call to him and say, hey, what's the latest joke? Oh, yeah, let me tell you, Mike. Boom. And we stay in contact.
Yeah.
I've sold them 3 houses. So
Fantastic. Mike, do you do anything, what would be in a box of client appreciation events? Do you do any of that? Or you just take your time, your personal time to see your past clients?
you know, I did a couple of events.
Mm-hmm.
I held them at one of them at my house. I
Wow.
I got street permission to block off the street, and we did a street party and included into my house because it ended up raining.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I've done a couple of them. Well, I've done 3. One of them ended up at my house and in my house, and it was fine. I probably had 60 people. So it wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but
Great. 60 people, that's a lot because all of them they have families and cousins and friends. So that's wide reach. That's great.
now St. Louis is all spread out. I mean, I was just in Boston last week and talking to an agent up there, and he said, I don't drive more than 5 minutes from my house, or no, 15 minutes from my house. And I'm like, are you
I would be
kidding
out
me?
of business here.
I sometimes drive an hour and 15,
Yeah.
and that's the area in which I service.
Yeah.
So and when you throw an event, people that far away don't come. It's the ones that are close. I've done events in new subdivisions. I've done them in a hall. We rented a nice banquet hall, and that was a bummer.
I
Do you
think
get any
this is
leads from it?
great. I think this is a great topic. I think we should pull a couple of our coaches from Real Estate Rockstars and just brainstorm and throw some ideas on a paper and share it with our members. So I love that. Mike, I am so sorry. Time is up. I know that we had a hard stop at noon here DC time because we need to go back to hustling. We need to go back to our work. Thank you so much for all the wisdom you've shared. I feel slightly better about the market.
Ah,
So who knows how will feel tomorrow, but I'll try to avoid the news and I'll just focus on the work. We will, for those who are watching and are curious about your bootcamp system for success, we will add a link underneath the interview. And if guys, you have any questions, please reach out to our headquarters and we'll try to answer them. And Mike, thank you one more time. And I'm looking forward to have you back here. Thank you.
all righty.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you later.
See ya.
Okay.